Okay, I have you down for an ear cleaning, and I know that you probably are expecting it to go a certain way. However, we do it a little bit differently here. One moment. Well, you can't just willy-nilly put tools into people's ears without knowing what size their ear is. You could do a lot of damage. So before I'm going to be sticking anything in your ear, we're going to be doing the proper measurements. We can calculate the size of your ear canal and how far away your eardrum is from the outside by taking proper measurement of both your ears and the shapes that they have. So starting right there, we go all the way around the ear. Okay. Probably that one. Okay, 9/16. From tragus to the top of the helix, we've got 4 centimeters. We'll do the measure one at a time here, and then we'll get. We have an array of 25 different tools, and only certain ones are appropriate. Usually 2 or 3 different tools will work for each different size of ear. No. That's 1/2. Okay. What about your lobe? Okay. That's 2. So that would mean it's 3/8. What about? Okay. Well, this is going to ensure that you barely even need to stay still because we're going to be using the right kind of tools. All of our tools are very soft and flexible. And shaped perfectly, most importantly. There to there. Okay. That looks like okay, 3 and 2 millimeters. We're looking at group B, most likely. And just one more measurement here. That curve. Oh, it's different. I thought. One moment. Okay, maybe group C. Yes, group C. Alright, for your left ear, we're going to be using group C. I'm going to try your next ear and see if we're going to be using a different group for that one. Alright. we need to retake every measurement. No two ears, well, no one ear is exactly the same, even on the same person. Let's see. Well, if you just go about it all willy-nilly like that, I've seen some serious damage to people's ears from other ear cleaning doctors who don't care about the process. Thankfully, you have come to the right place. Now we'll need to do that one. Okay. Yes, 1/2. 7/16. Well, it could be group C, but sometimes there are modifications to the group. Occasionally we'll do group CB, group CA, stuff like that, where one of the tools isn't going to work because of the way the measurements are. So when you do custom work, it's important to have a lot of customization. You can't say something is custom if you just have 3 unmodified groups. That's not custom. In fact, we're coming up with new tools all the time to fit more ears more perfectly. Well, we actually do the measurements every time. Well, with age, people's ears change, or stress, or a large variety of things can change the topography of our bodies in many different ways. So the measurement isn't every time procedure. It's not just a one and done. You come to us and we carefully measure every single time to make sure that we're using the safest, best, most reliable methods to clean your ears. And for people like you who have a pretty severe earwax problem, it's important that your doctor be precise. It is looking like we will most likely be doing a group BC hybrid for you, but we don't assume anything. We take every single measurement. 11/16. Okay, very good. Sometimes we throw a tool from D or E into a PC hybrid. I don't think your ear would tolerate that properly. So, BC hybrid it is. Yes. Alright. Let me gather my tools. All the perfect ones. Okay. We have our BC hybrid custom set. We'll start on your left ear. And we start with a gentle swabbing. So this is a soaked foam tool that I'm going to very gently swab inside your ear. This is putting a solution in there that's going to make the wax easy to pull out. It is soothing so that any possibility of irritation is completely averted. Soak in solution and gently dab it in your ear. We like to make sure that we get everywhere, all the way down to the eardrum. With its really soothing properties, it feels nice to have it all there. Okay, we let that soak in. We do the other side. Okay, other side. Gentle soaking. So we have several different sizes of each tool. So while we have 25 different tools, we also have 7 to 10 different sizes of each tool. So really the customization is limitless. A little bit more. And then we will switch back to the other side, since that one has been soaking for a moment. Okay. Next we're going to go in with a small scoop. This is going to get out most of the larger chunks of wax. Well, this gets all of the big parts. We need something to grab the flaky bits. We need something to break up things this can't get. And then we need something to take anything left after that. And for your custom using all the same tools. It's been customized in the size of tools that we're going to be using. So I'll be using a scoop and a feather pick and a silicone. Well, both of your ears, they'll be slightly different sizes that have been chosen based on your measurements. I think that I've gotten all, well, just a little more. I was going to say I think I've gotten all I can get with this, but then I was making some headway, so. Oh, there we go. Alright, other side we'll do next to give this one a break. Alright, let's see, this is our size 3. So, slightly bigger for this one, with a 2-degree difference in the incline of the slope on the scoop end. Yeah, that's how custom we make it. We take customization very seriously here. I feel like I can safely say that, yes. Well, I personally have never used the exact same set on 2 individuals. Certainly some people have similarly shaped ear canals, but not so similar that we can't make something perfectly different and custom. Well, the incline on this scoop does make it a little scoopier, for lack of a more scientifically correct term. So I do find it just slightly easier to use this shape. But there is one where the angle of the scoop is 5 degrees different, and that one is too hard to use because it's too sloped. Well, I mean, it's not too hard, it's the right tool for the right ear, but because the tools are custom made for your ears and not for my hands, I do find some of them easier to use. I think that is good, and we are going to go in now with silicone pick. Let's get you back to the other side. And go in with this pick that just gets what was left behind by the scoop. Very gentle upward scooping motions, and sometimes well, I'm seeing that downward is working better for your hair. Some of the tools are versatile like that. Well, and that's a way in which we customize the specific motion of the tool, the angle we enter the ear. They are all thoughtfully calculated for each person. I was done, but I'm not. There we go. Alright, other side. Sometimes we can use the tip more like that, but I'm finding it simpler to use it like this on your ear. Well, I've been working at this practice for 5 years, so I've seen some patients for a long time. And there have been some people who the deviations between the set of tools they needed the first visit versus their most recent visit has been kind of incredible. Our whole body, just as we get older, kind of droops. So we need stiffer curves to get into places. We need softer tips to avoid damaging the skin, which becomes thinner and easier to scrape up as we get older. Well, I find it really fun. It's not supposed to be tedious. It's supposed to be part of the experience, and I love deciding based on my measurements what to use. I like tailoring the experience. I think that makes people feel special and unique. Okay, just one little bit more and then we'll move on to our final tool. These are one of my favorites. Okay. We have 30 different sizes of this tool because the more perfectly shaped it is, the more relaxing it is for the client. So this one has been perfectly selected for you. This one is gentle, so I didn't switch ears before it. This pretty much just dusts away anything that's left, which there really shouldn't be afterwards, but you know, this type of perfection is our brand, so. Slow and gentle just because it's ticklish. The faster you go, the more squeamish people get about it. So I really take my time. Okay. Other side. I'm fairly sure it's from down of a bird, I think. It might be synthetic. It looks like downy feathers to me. Your perfect custom ear cleaning is over. Please feel free to come back and get measured and cleaned again.